Hello, 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 and welcome to another live stream here with Club Danube. Today we have a rather long live stream for you guys. Um, yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, as you can see, we are in the PMDG 737-900, and we're sporting the KLM Royal Dutch Airlines livery, Air France KLM livery. Okay. And let me just quickly have a look at the fuel here. You know what? We'll work on the fuel from the inside, I guess. But anyway, how are you guys doing? And hello, Anas. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today's live stream is going to be an interesting one. It's going to be a very, very long one. It's going to be probably the longest live stream I've done. We'll see how time allows us. Based on that, we'll make an adjustment here, ladies and gentlemen. Whether or not we'll be able to complete the entire planned route today, I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Okay, so today's flight is an interesting one. We are flying from Rotterdam to Vaasa Airport, and that is from Rotterdam, that is in the Netherlands. We're going to end up in Finland today. From Rotterdam, we're going to fly to, I believe, it's called Lipstad. We look at the names here. Yep. From Rotterdam, the Hague Airport in Amsterdam, in Netherlands, we're going to fly to Paderborn, Lipstad in Germany. Then we're going to go on to Bornholm in Denmark. From there, we're going to move on to Arlanda Airport in Stockholm, Sweden. And then from there, finally, we will fly on to Vaasa Airport in Finland. Okay? So we're going to perform a touch and go at Lipstad. We're going to come to a full stop and then take off again from Bornholm. We'll perform another touch and go at Arlanda in Sweden. Then finally we will land as our final destination in Finland, Vaasa. So that's going to be a long flight. It's going to take roughly 3 to 3.5 hours, maybe even 4 hours continuing. We still have to start up the aircraft. It's going to be a long flight. It's going to be 1,025 nautical miles today. That is by far the longest flight I've ever attempted on the live stream. So we can see the beautiful aircraft parked here, the 737-900 by PMDG. The Flying Dutchman is the livery we are using today. Okay. And all around us, we can see a couple of aircrafts that have loaded in. Very nice, isn't it? Okay, let's see what we can do about the fuel situation first. So let's jump inside the cockpit here. And we will take it from here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's first see how we can load fuel. I've actually never loaded fuel in the PMDG before. So long press the menu button to turn on the FMC here. Let's go to the PMD setup. Let's go to aircraft. Let's see equipment. Oh no, return. Return. I think it's supposed to be options. No. I think it's FS actions, fuel. Let's see. Total pounds, level is 54.3. We will set it to 2/3 of our fuel today. Okay, so that will take us to 30,713. And we are just about near the MTAL. Let's see. Let's go to our payload for the day. Our first class, it's 11 out of 12. Economy is that. Forward cargo and aft cargo. I think we can leave this exactly the way we want it to be. Okay. So payload for the day is fine. Fuel for the day is set here. 2/3 should do us well. Okay. So that takes us to the FMC. Obviously can't work yet. Anyway. Long press the menu to remove the thing. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. Never mind. All right, without further ado, let's actually go ahead and get this aircraft started up. As you can see, we're in a cold and dark state. We have the stairs attached. Let's just go ahead and get this aircraft started up, shall we? So let me get ready with my checklist here. Okay, PMDG checklist. There it is. Okay. All right, first things first, we need to turn the batteries to on. Our controllers are well configured. Let's turn our batteries to on here. Batteries are on. Let's connect the ground power by going to, we'll request our GPU card here. As soon as that's available, we'll be able to connect the ground power. Still connecting. We'll go outside and have a look soon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just make sure my voice is coming through okay. Yes, it is. Ground power has been connected. If we go outside, we'll see there it is, the umbilical and the GPU cart right there. Okay. Let's go back inside, go overhead and switch to ground power. Ground power is now on. Okay. Let's now also go ahead and set our services. Do we read any services? Let's see. Next, we can request aft galley can be requested, passenger bus can be requested, forward loader, and the whole deal can be requested. So if you look outside now, you'll see a bunch of services start to approach the aircraft. There's our passenger bus. I like that they're following the actual route before coming into the aircraft. The galley, PMDG catering is loading up, and the front and back there are the loaders coming up to load the baggage on for today's flight. The livery is beautiful, isn't it? I really like it. Okay, here we are, the card loaders to load up our baggage is coming in, and it's being attached right away. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we should continue on. We'll go back inside and we will see. Oh, there's the one for the aft. This is the forward one. Okay, cargo being loaded. Okay, let's go back inside, go back overhead. We don't need dome lights today. Let's go ahead and set our IRS to nav. Okay, wait for this to align here. Align. I don't have it set on realistic time. I have it set, I think, fast. See, 0 minutes to alignment. Okay. Let's see. Emergency lights can become, we can arm our emergency lights right now. Excuse me. Window heats can be turned on here. Probe heats can also go on. Why not? Let's prepare our flight plan for the day. Now, bear with me. Our flight plan for the day is very, very long. Well, it's not very, very long, but it's quite long considering that we have a lot of touch and goes to go through. So let me first show you guys how the flight plan looks like on little nav map here. Okay, hope you guys can see. I've put the opacity a little bit so you guys can also see the aircraft in the background. I don't know if that was a good idea, but here we go. Okay, let me show you guys this flight plan. Here it is. The flight plan for the day is pretty simple, at the same time complicated. Here it is. We are at Rotterdam, the Hague airport in Netherlands. As you guys can see, this is Netherlands right here. All this is Netherlands. So we're going to take off from Rotterdam. We're going to fly over to Germany in Lipstad airport. We're going to use these waypoints to help us descend into Lipstad. We're not using any ILS, obviously, at Lipstad. What we're going to do is we're going to perform a touch and go at Lipstad. Okay. Then we're going to move on. And as you can see, we come to Bornholm Airport. And I believe that's in Copenhagen. Not Copenhagen, sorry. I believe that is the territory of Denmark. Let me quickly look that up, shall I? Bornholm. Where does Bornholm? Bornholm is an island in Denmark. Okay, so the island of Bornholm is the territory of Denmark. Okay, so here we are. Out of Bornholm, we'll fly to Sweden. We'll go into Stockholm at Arlanda Airport. I've flown into here before, but today we won't be using the ILS. We'll just be, there's the runway. Just be using these waypoints to guide us in, and we'll come to a, let's see, how are we doing this? All right, so we take off here. We have a touch and go here. We come to a full stop at Bornholm. Then we have another touch and go at Arlanda. Then we will move on to our final destination for the day. It could be done in 2 streams depending on how long today's stream ends up being. I don't know. But hopefully, this will be the final destination for today, and that will be Vaasa in, as you can see, Finland. Okay, so we'll end our journey in Finland, Vaasa. So, 4 airports, 4 countries, a little mini European tour is what this is using the 737-900. So, our cruising altitude on the first leg over here will be 25,000. Over here, it will be 35,000, 35,000, and 35,000. Okay, so it will be fun. It will be action packed. Actually, don't worry about that because we're going to have to descend and climb. That's what we'll be doing most of the time. Very little cruising will be there, hopefully. That's why I have planned this flight out with very long, as you can see, top of descents are like quite long, almost half the route. Almost halfway through the route, we'll begin our top of descent just to keep us entertained. Okay, let's get back into the simulator now. I've removed the overlay for the nav map, I hope. Yeah, now you guys can just see the simulator here clearly. Okay, excellent. Let's continue with our checklist, and what we need to do is program in our FMC, ladies and gentlemen. So let's do that right away. Okay, let's enter our IRS position. So we'll copy the GPS here, and we'll set that as our IRS position. Let's move on to our flight plan. Reference airport for the day. We are starting off at EHRD. EHRD. We won't input a gate for the day. Let's move on to the route. Origin is going to be EHRD, and our destination today is going to be EVFA. Sorry, EFVA. That is Vaasa in Finland, EFVA. Brilliant. Our takeoff runway for the day is 06. Okay. And our flight number will be CDN, I believe, number 4. Why not? Let's move on. Our waypoints for the day are quite interesting. First one is going to be Xamod, which is going to take us to our first touch and go. It's going to be the top of descent to our first touch and go. So remember that. It's going to be the top of descent to our first touch and go, which will be at Lippstadt. So we'll begin our descent into Lippstadt in Germany at this waypoint, Xamod. Then we'll use LW201 to guide us into the ILS, into the runway. Sorry, no ILS today. Just we're going to be landing all of them manually, apart from the very last landing into Finland. That will be ILS, but the others we're just going to manually perform all the landings. Okay. LW201 continuing into Lippstadt. Then LP027 continuing into Lippstadt. SQ06E continuing into Lippstadt. Not in database. Oh, that's a problem, isn't it? SQ06E apparently is not in the database. Oh, we have a bit of a problem, don't we? Yes, we do, sir. Yes, we do. Okay. We can just skip that waypoint. It's not a big deal. Let's move on to the next waypoint. Hopefully, MQ06. There will be some disparities. I'm not using the latest charts or anything. MQ06. Holy moly. There's so many of them. Okay, I'm gonna press this first one, but I can't be sure yet. So this is gonna be a problem here. And then finally, we'll end up at EDLP. If we have an issue, which we might, we'll come in and manually alter that nav map after we are done inputting all of this. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Our next waypoint, okay, by the way, if you have noticed, all these waypoints take us into EDLP for our landing. Then we'll move on to ST09. Oh, again, not in database. Okay, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Okay, let's put in Nonsa. Nonsa. I think we'll have to input some new waypoints, won't we? That's not a problem. We can quickly do that. Won't take too long. For now, let's continue. Nonsa Mokak. The reason I'm inputting all these waypoints is to alert me to the top of descent. Again, Mokak is not in the database either. Oh, this is a problem. Okay, next we have FF11. Very little guidance into this airport, aren't we? Then finally we have Pides. I hope this is in the database. Yes, it is. Then we'll end up at EKRN. This is why I put so many waypoints to guide us into the airport. In case some of them are missing, we can rely on the others. EKRN, then we've got EKRN is Bornholm Airport. So that's a Bornholm Airport right there. We will land. Okay, moving on. We have V-Bar. Okay, that's there. Thank goodness. Then Nyox 2. It's going to make for a very exciting flight because a lot of this is going to be calculated in our head, not in database. Ooh, another not in database. SA750. I hope this one is in the database. Come on. Be in the database. Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Then we have CF01 left. That should definitely be the database. 01 left. This is the one that's taking us into the runway. Then ML01 left. We'll have to compare this with how it looks in the nav, in the little nav map. Okay. Finally, all these waypoints will take us into Arlanda Airport in Sweden. Yeah, in Stockholm, Sweden. Okay, moving on, we have the next waypoint that will take us into Finland for the day. Togmi, that is available. Followed by Bupeg. No, Bupeg, we don't input that yet. Okay, let's activate what we have so far. Let's go to departure. Out of EHRD, we'll be following the NEPT 2A departure. I didn't even check if it's available. Yes, it is. NEPT 2A departure and runway 06. Let's execute that. We'll go back. We'll go back to the arrival in Finland. We'll arrive using star Bupe 3D. I am pretty sure that's there. Yeah, Bupe 3D. And we're going to be using ILS 16Z for our landing here today. That's landing into Finland by you, mind you, the final destination. Can execute that as well. And now let's go to the legs page. See if there's... Okay, there are some route discontinuities we can work on. Another route discontinuity. And what is that hold there? The hold is supposed to be a Totku. Okay. In case we miss the final landing at Finland, we've got a hold and a missed approach already available to us. Okay, before I go any further with the flight plan, let me actually, you know what? Never mind. Let me just continue here with the FMC first, yeah? Okay, now that this is set, let's go to our initial reference here. Zero fuel weight can come on here. Our reserves for the day, we want to land with 5. Our cost index for the day, we can put it at 100. Our cruising altitude for the first leg, it is supposed to be 25,000. For the second leg, it is supposed to be 35,000. It's probably going to say unable cruise altitude on the first leg, obviously. But we're not going to worry about that. Let's just set it at 35,000 and we will execute the insufficient fuel for this particular journey. That is what it's saying right now. We can... Well, what we can do is we can remove some of the passengers and then put in more fuel. Okay, we can just do that quickly. There is no problem. Let's see if I put like 30,000 feet. It still says insufficient fuel, doesn't it? If I put cost index as 80, now it still says insufficient fuel. Okay, we will go ahead and make some adjustments. Not a problem. 5,000 to be our transition altitude for the day. Insufficient fuel again. Okay. Just give me a minute here. All right, let's move on to N1 limit. We're not going to touch anything here. Flaps 5 for takeoff. Viva, let's just put QRH right here. Wait. Okay, we'll just leave it as V1 153, VR 155, V2 164 is for the day. Let's see, is there anything else missing? I don't think so, except the fact that we have insufficient fuel. So let's go to the menu, go to options. Sorry, again, I messed this up. Let's go to fuel here. We don't have enough fuel. Let's see, let's set full. And we still have an insufficient fuel warning. You know what? Once we land into one of the airports, we'll have a look at our fuel and then we will refuel once we are on the ground. I'm pretty sure we have enough fuel to make the first couple of airports. Let me show you a little nav map really quickly. I'm pretty sure we have enough fuel to make this airport and this airport. That is, we have enough fuel to at least make it to Bornholm. At Bornholm, we'll have a look at the fuel, or even at Arlada, we'll have a look at the fuel and refuel if necessary. So that shouldn't be a big problem because we're coming to a full stop at Bornholm anyway. So at that point, we'll have a look at our fuel. Okay, not a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. So for now, let's go back to our legs here, and let's check that our flight plan actually works. That's something we need to check because we have a lot of funny waypoints here, don't we? Okay, let's see if it actually works. How do I do this? Control 1. Move on to plan mode here. And what is this? What is our first waypoint that I'm supposed to be looking at? Bupeg. Okay, let's have a look. Bupeg. Okay. That is the landing. Okay, that's takeoff. That's from takeoff we have RD, then we have Inket. All of that seems to be working. Zamod is working. Nonsa. Okay, they all seem to be. You know what? Let's just change the range right about here. That should. Okay, so we can clearly see that there is some sort of problem here. Uh, yeah, there's some sort of problem here, I think, with our flight plan. What is our range at 320? Now let's have a look at our flight plan. Okay, from our takeoff, as you can see, there's a little bit of a problem. This is pretty difficult, isn't it? Okay. Until we reach EDLP, we don't seem to be having too many of issues. The second we reach EDLP, though, we do have a little bit of an issue there. That is all messed up as well. Oh my goodness, that is going to be a problem, isn't it? A little bit of a messed up flight plan today. You know what? Luckily for us, we have little nav map to guide us today. So I won't stress about this too much today. This is the final landing point. I'm looking for Bupeg is here. Everything else, like, I don't understand, man. Okay, we'll find out what happens as we begin to fly and how it agrees with the little nav map, okay? So we're not going to worry too much about this. Let's set it to 20 nautical miles. Okay, we're not going to worry too much about this. We'll leave it the way it is and we'll see how it goes. If we need adjustments, we'll make them en route. I knew this flight plan wasn't perfect. It's not exactly very easy to make a flight plan for a touch and go, you know. That's a problem. I'm trying to incorporate a lot of touch and goes and manual waypoints for landing. It's not going to be an issue because we have little nav map. Okay, so let's move on with our checklist here and quickly get this thing off the ground, shall we? Been on the ground for a while now, I guess. Okay, let's set barometric pressure. We'll use the shortcut. Press B. Oh, what? Is that right? Okay, barometric pressure is already set. Excellent. What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Okay, let's go to our control panel here and set it up. FD on. Our initial climb output, we'll just go directly to 250, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we'll go to 250 here. The maximum allowable under 10,000 feet. Our course for today, our runway heading is 55 degrees. We're taking off from runway 06. Oh, sorry. And our runway heading is 55. So let's just set it to 55. You always overshoot it. You can never do it perfectly. Okay. Course to 55. Heading also, we need to set it to 55. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 55. Let's see. What else? What else? Let's see if LNAV and VNAV engages. Okay, LNAV engages, but VNAV won't. Oh, it does. VNAV also engages. Although our flight plan is messed up, these two agree. So, okay, whatever. Let's arm the auto throttle here as well. And that should, yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, great. Let's go up to the overhead. Turn our seatbelts to on here quickly. Come on. Yaw dampers can go to on. Cabin pressure can be set to cruise altitude for the day, which is actually supposed to be 35,000 feet. I'm actually going to set 35,000 feet. Let me see what I set in the FMC here. What did we set? I'm actually going to go to 35. Excuse me. 35. Okay. Insufficient fuel. Yes, I know. All right. Let's see. Cabin pressure has been set. Aft fuel pump 1 on. Okay, let's do the APU really quickly here. Okay. APU start. We'll see the needles climbing. We'll wait for the bus availability and we'll do bus transfers to APU. So we are drawing power from the APU instead of the ground power. And here we are. The APU is beginning to come to life. We can go outside and see the exhaust gases. Before that, let's actually go ahead and turn the anti-collision lights to on. Basically, those are nav lights, aren't they? Yeah, I think those are the nav lights. Let me see. Let me see. Is the anti-collision light the nav light? Turn that off. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay, once again, I forgot to turn off nav map, didn't I? But it was just a startup, so we're just starting up the engine. At least you guys didn't miss much. It's just a startup, and you could see through the nav map at least. Okay, that's something I keep forgetting. Apologies about that. Try my best not to do that again. You can see the exhaust gases from the APU here. Wonderful. And yeah, let's go back inside. The APU is now available. We switch power to the APU. Ground power goes to off automatically. Anti-collision lights, we'll turn them on. What else? What else? What else? Let's see. Disconnect the ground power is our next step here. Let's go to menu, ground services. We'll release the ground power. We'll see that the GPU cart, see the umbilical has disappeared and the GPU cart should go away. There it is. The door has closed and the cart will go away. Let's move on, shall we? The rest of the services, before we disconnect them, let's make sure that our parking brake is on. It is now. Let's go back into the FMC. Let's remove the chokes. The chokes. Removing wheel chokes releases all other ground services. As you can see, our stairs are now being closed. Door closed. The stairs are being retracted. The passenger bus is moving away from us. Cargo doors are closed. Everything will now start going away from us now that we have removed the chokes. So the chokes are a signal to the ground services to know that we are actually about to move and pack up. Okay, brilliant. Moving on. What else do we have to do today? Let's go back overhead. We can actually turn on all our fuel pumps in preparation for starting our engines and turn on APU bleed as well. Dual bleed, it's because our engine bleeds are on as well, not a problem. Let's begin pushing back. And while pushing back, we will turn on our engines. We'll get our engines to start, yeah? Push back, select tug, we'll go straight out and we will start.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start tail straight out.
Okay.
Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Brakes off.
Brakes off.
Brakes released.
Brakes released. Okay, let's go outside. There is the pushback being connected. This one is MSFS pushback, which we're not using today. We're using the PMDG pushback, obviously. We're waiting for this thing to push us back, and it has started pushing us back with the cargo loader still attached to us. Come on, man. This cargo loader does not go away until this one does. But anyway, let's go back inside and get the engine started while we wait for pushback. Okay, for engine start, let's turn the ignition to the right. Turn right engine to on. We'll wait for our N2 to climb to 20. And we will put the start lever here to idle. Okay? There we go. Go outside. We should probably stop that pushback, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should. Let's go back inside. Stop it. Remove the tug here. Oh, if I can reach it. Right? Remove the tug here and set our parking brakes as well. Parking brakes are set. Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we have our engines pulling up. If we go back overhead, we'll wait for this knob to fall back into the off position automatically. Once that happens, let's go ahead and turn on the second engine. There it has happened. Let's go ahead and turn on the next left-hand engine. The cursor is misbehaving. Common thing in MSFS. Okay, N2 is rising. We'll wait for 20%. Just gonna quickly do that to try and bring the cursor back to life, and it hasn't. Oh, why is this simulator so buggy? I don't know. I really don't. Anyway, 20, let's flick that open. Let's go outside. We have a TUI 737 parked behind us. But anyway, let's enjoy the engine sounds. Okay. Let's go back inside now. If we go overhead, the knob has just flicked back into position. We can put the ignition back to both. And we are ready for taxi once we turn on our taxi lights here. We don't need our logo lights or anything like that, just the taxi lights. Anything else to do today? Yes, we do. Okay, APU bleed can come to off. Our APUs themselves, okay, we need to first transfer the electric powers to the engines. So bus transfers to engine complete. APU bleed has been switched off. We can bring our APU to a complete off position. We'll see the needle fall back down. That takes a while. Hydraulic pumps can be turned on now. Our AC packs can come to automatic, I believe. Yeah, left and right packs. I think you can hear them. Yes, you can. Packs to auto. Taxi lights have been turned on, and now we are ready for taxi, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's go back to legs here. Taxi lights are on. Okay, and we are ready to taxi. Right before we taxi, let me just quickly go and have a look at nav map. This time, hopefully I won't forget to turn it off so that you guys can see the simulator. This is why I put it on 50%. At least if I accidentally leave it on, you guys can see some of what's going on. Okay, so we're here right now. We just push back. We're going to follow this taxiway out here, turn to our left, back again to our left, and we'll end up at runway 06, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, brilliant. So without further ado, let us go back into the simulator. And this time I have turned off the nav map display. Yes, I have, right? Yes, I have. Okay, releasing parking brake. Is the parking brake released? No. Okay, let's try that again. There it goes. Ooh, too much throttle. Okay, I was just powering it up a little bit so it starts rolling here. Hard right. My goodness, it is quite stubborn, isn't it? Still a lot better than taxiing an Airbus, any of the Airbuses. They have such a massive servo delay with the Airbus. Taxiing them, I really hate it. I do not enjoy it at all. Okay, let's see. Is that another 737 as well? I forgot. A shorty one, 600, the baby Boeing. 737-600 and a couple of other 737s as well as the one behind us, the one we almost crashed into during pushback. Okay, runway 06 to our left it says, so let's turn to our left and let me give you guys a better view. Slow the aircraft down a little bit. We are turning. Okay, the runway markings are all good quality here at Rotterdam. We'll continue and we'll take another max span of 36-meter wingspan. We're definitely, I think, above that limit. Let's turn to left. Slow it down a little bit for us to turn around here. Okay, we'll do the before lineup checklist right before we enter the runway. We have another aircraft here that's about to take off at Transavia. It's another 737, I believe. Yeah, it's a 737. Why is my... okay. That is another 737. Why isn't it rolling? Hope it takes off before we line up or whatever. Okay. Just bring us back into the center here. We'll go ahead and stop right at the stop bar that you see ahead of us. We won't use this one. We'll just take the whole runway. As you know, the 737-900, it needs room to take off, and our VR today is not at all low. It's quite high, so we'll stop right about here. Set our parking brakes on. We'll turn on our landing lights here. Turn off our taxi lights here. We'll change our position lights to strobe. We want it to strobe out here. Yep. See that? Strobe. Strobe and steady. Okay. Let's have a look outside. Is it strobing? Yes, it is. Anything else before? Yes, there is. We need to drop our flaps. 1, 2, 5. Our flaps will now drop to position 5 here. 1, 2, 5. That's right about here, I believe. Then position lights to strobe has been completed. Flaps have been set for takeoff. Let's actually go ahead and set our TCAS for the day all the way to TA/RA mode. And there is something we forgot, isn't there? If we go to our performance, if we go to N1 and takeoff, we forgot to set the trim. Trim for takeoff is 5.42. This is something I often forget. 5.42, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go towards 5.42 for today's trim. .42 now. 5.42 set, right? It is 5.42 confirm. Okay. And just to confirm, we have 5.42. All right. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. What else? We got our trim. And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. From here on out, we are actually quite ready. We're supposed to set our TCAS while we climb. I mean, you know what? It's fine. We're just gonna set it, and we did that. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from here on, it is just a matter of flying out and enjoying ourselves as we do so. Has that Transavia taken off? Let's have a look. Yep, it's gone. It's long gone. Okay, so we can now go ahead and line up for takeoff, yeah? Parking brakes released. Get the aircraft rolling here. Okay, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Anas says the map is on top again. I don't know if that's intentional. Well, it wasn't, Anas. Hopefully, it's no longer on top, yeah? Anas, if you're still watching this, can you let me know if the map is still on top for you? Okay. Alright. Okay, that's a little bit of a bug right there. The ILS light being all the way up here, isn't it? Can't be perfect, can it? We're a little off on our turn, aren't we? We're just going to line up properly. And once we do that, Okay, you guys are seeing the simulator right now, and you're seeing it clear. Okay. Let's go back into the simulator. And let's set, I think we're ready for takeoff, yeah? Let's go ahead, set thrust. Okay. We're rolling, ladies and gentlemen. 80 knot call out. Speed alive. There's an aircraft on that runway, isn't there? I hope not. Whatever. Does it? Come on. Come on.
V1. Rotate.
Okay, we have the rotate and we are off just in time. Oh my goodness.
Positive rate of climb.
Positive rate, gear up. We just about had enough runway to make that takeoff. I knew it. This is the 737-900 and it will not let you take off. With a little bit of runway, it needs a lot, doesn't it? Okay, so far we're looking good. Let's put our flaps to position number 2. That immediately takes us to a red zone with our speed. We'll flatten out our climb a little bit. Okay, that looks okay. The trim is automatically being handled right now. It's fantastic. Then, okay, let's turn on our autopilot here. And we're on VNAV right now, aren't we? Yeah, we are. Okay, let's take our flaps back up. Okay. Let's put our gear to the off position here. And everything right now is being managed by the autopilot for now. Flaps are up completely. Remember, the flight plan is a little messed up, so we're gonna have to stay on top of that here. I'm gonna increase the range here just so I know what the aircraft is doing exactly. Let's go outside and have a look, shall we? Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We just left Rotterdam, which is here. We've already left it behind. And I'm pretty sure it's very, very loud outside the aircraft. Yeah, it's very loud. Let me just... Okay. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I've reduced the volume just a little bit. It's very, very loud. But yeah, where we took off from, we've left it behind now. You know what, I'm just gonna go back inside because I can tell it clearly. It is way too loud. Let's have a look at nav map, shall we? I'm gonna turn on nav map for a bit. We can see that everything is under control so far. Let's have a look at the flight plan here. 284 FL 10,000. And is our aircraft actually doing that? Yeah, everything is being controlled. And our standard, we can set our barometer to standard now that we've crossed our transition altitude of 5,000. Okay, that's done. Now we are on our way to Init. Let's have a look at a little nav map to see how we're performing, yeah? Okay, I'm gonna go to little nav map. Okay, so we are on our way to Inket, excuse me. So we're on our way to Inket and all of this seems to be okay on the FMC. If it does mess up, not to worry. You can always take manual control and we can refer to nav map for further instructions. Let me just center our aircraft here. Okay, there we go. That is a little nav map, okay? You can see the aircraft in the background. Let me actually, if I'm on little nav map, go inside. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me over all this noise and hopefully you guys can also see the simulator and the nav map. Okay, we're on our way to Inket. Anyway, let's hide the map. Let's go back into the simulator, shall we? Just to make sure that the simulator is on top. Yes, it is, and you guys can see it. Brilliant. Okay. I'm gonna go back inside and stop talking outside. All right. What did Anas say? It's on. It's not on top anymore. Sorry for the delay. Not the best Wi-Fi. No problem. Thank you very much for tuning in and confirming that with me. Okay, everything seems to be doing well. We are about to cross through 10,000 feet, so we have some procedures here to complete, don't we? We have got to turn off our landing lights, which we can do in a second. Let's do that right now. Landing lights to off. We can. What else can we do? What else can we do? Let's set our cruise altitude for the day. It's supposed to be 25,000 on this particular leg, as we fly into Lippstadt in Germany first. So we're supposed to be at 25,000 feet. So we'll allow the aircraft to automatically take us to that altitude. VNAV is on, 25,000 is set, and I think it takes precedence. Yeah, it's climbing now. Everything is looking well. Everything is looking well. And okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, is there anything else that we have to do here? No, not really. Why don't we have a look at what the passenger is saying? Oh, that's some interesting views right there. I don't know, we're flying over some agricultural land. Those look like farm to me. I don't know. Oh, yeah. This looks so lovely. The PMDG is such a lovely aircraft, lovely model, isn't it? In case you're wondering what the time is today at this moment, we're using live weather, but not a real time. It's about 3 p.m. You know, locally where we're flying. The idea is hopefully by the time we land into Finland, it will be the evening, and we'll have a nice dusky landing. Okay, look at that. Look at how lovely that is. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Fortunately, these are the only views that PMDG really has. But this is nice. Well, that's also very, very nice, isn't it? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back inside the cockpit and see what's happening. Hopefully everything is in order. Let's go back inside the cockpit, shall we? Okay, we're on our way to Paloop now. Samod, Neptune, we'll see how all of this works out, shall we? Okay, Mr. Anas, what do you think about our flight today? Are you having fun? Is anyone on there, or am I flying alone by myself on YouTube yet again? This is going to be a long one today, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a 4-hour. It's roughly going to be 3.5 hours to 4 hours. It's going to be a 4-hour live stream, more likely, especially considering the stops we're going to go through. So I hope someone joins me. I don't want to keep flying this all by myself, you know. But anyway, if you are there by any chance, please do say hello or say something, you know. I would appreciate that, just to let me know that I'm not alone on YouTube. So if you are watching, please do drop in and say hello in the live chat. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, man. Here we are continuing on our flight. Yeah. We'll come into the metrics. We'll discuss the flight in a little bit more detail in about 30 seconds. I'm just grabbing my water bottle here. Excuse me for just 30 seconds. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Oh, we're making a turn. Lovely. Lovely, isn't it? Let's see, can we see that from the passenger's point of view? Oh, that's nice. Look at the level of detail on that. That is nice. I always enjoy this view. Let's see. Very, very nice here. Okay, so we got 3, 5, 7. Okay. Let's go back inside the cockpit. Okay, so if you guys can see, we're now on our waypoint to Xamod at 63 nautical miles. Xamod is supposed to be our top of descent into Lippstadt in Germany, where we'll perform our first touch and go We're not going to come to a complete stop. We're going to perform a touch and go there. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead and have a look at our map here to see where exactly there is the top of the climb. We've already reached our cruising altitude, haven't we? No, we haven't. It's still altitude restricting us. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tell it to climb here. Just so you guys can see, let me come back into the simulator. I'm gonna make it go back and climb by ourselves here at about 1,000. No, let's go briskly at about 2,500 feet per minute. We'll climb at 2,500 feet per minute straight out onto our cruising altitude. Because our VNAV for some reason has restricted our climb. I don't understand why, but anyway. Not our problem. The speed, we'll set it at a healthy 310 to give us some leeway between us and the overspeed. You know, we need some margin of safety here. Okay, so we'll reach our cruising altitude easily over here. That's good news. Let's continue looking at the map, shall we? At the nav map. Okay, so we're supposed to be beginning our descent into EDLP or Lippstadt in Germany, right at Zamod. Then we're supposed to move on to LW201, LP027, SQ06E, and to MQ0. This is directly in line with the runway we want to perform the touch and go at, which I believe is runway 06 at Lippstadt. Whichever one is easiest for us, we'll do the touch and go there. Okay, and yeah, so we'll perform our top of descent right here. We should be at about 11,000 feet here, 3,000 feet here, and that will enable us to perform a touch and go here, which is very exciting, and then move on to our next destination. We will come to a complete stop, take off, touch and go, etc., etc. Okay, so that should be lots of fun. As you can see, we're not that far away from our top of descent, are we? We're going to be there in no time, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, although this route is long and we're flying a commercial airliner like the 737, there's plenty for us to do on this flight stream. Very little sitting around idle, so it's going to be a very hands-on flight. Combined with the fact that our flight plan is a little bit messed up because some of the waypoints aren't in the system. That means that we have double the work. We have to make sure that everything is okay, and if there's a waypoint that's messing us up a little bit, we got to take manual control. So a busy flight. Anyway, we're climbing out to 25,000 feet. This is the kind of flight that you usually do with a GA aircraft. But here we are performing it with an airliner. Why not, right? Having fun, some touch and goes, touring Europe while we're at it. Obviously, we can't see any landmarks. We are way too high for that, but we will have a generic view of the scenery today, won't we? We can mess around with the weather along the way. We'll play around with it. You know, maybe if we get bored of the weather, we can turn it into something stormy. Enjoy ourselves a little bit, perhaps towards the ending. Why don't we land into rain at Finland? That's a good idea. At our final destination in Finland, we will set the weather to stormy and we'll have a nice bumpy stormy landing. That'll be quite fun, don't you think? And yeah, for this particular leg though, because it's really short, the leg from Rotterdam to Lippstadt in Germany, it is very short, so we're not gonna mess with the weather too much. We're just gonna leave it at live weather. But on the next leg, we'll try out another kind of weather. That's fun. So for every leg that we're flying today, we'll try out a different weather. That should be exciting. Let me show you guys a little nav map once again. So for this leg, we'll use live weather. For this leg, we'll decide on what weather to use. This leg, we'll use another weather. And on the last leg, we'll use stormy weather. That'll be really fun. Okay, that sounds like a plan. Unless something goes... We have to make amends on the go. So in case something goes wrong, we won't be able to do that. But as of now, I think that's a great plan. Great, exciting plan. So as you can see, we are approaching 25,000 feet. Let me remove nav map and come back into the simulator here. We're approaching 25,000 feet. But at the same time, we've reached our top of descent. That's how short this particular flight is, ladies and gentlemen. So Zamod is actually our top of descent. Anna says, I'm actually really excited about this flight. Oh, yeah, yeah, me too. But it's going to be a long one, so tuck in. I shouldn't say tuck in now. Maybe I should get a snack or something and tuck in. This is going to be a long one, I guess. Get some beverages and some food and some light snacks next to you, because definitely you're going to get hungry. It's going to be a good couple of hours, by which I mean 4 hours. But okay, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun on us. It's going to be really fun, and keep engaging with me. It makes it all the more fun, buddy. All the more fun. It's kind of depressing to fly alone on YouTube, don't you think? But yeah. Anyway, glad that you're here. Okay. As we continue, we can see that our top of descent is right about there. Our speed is dropping very, very steeply because we're using VS here. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna actually flatten out our climb to about roughly 1900 feet to allow the speed to climb here. And I'll set our actual speed here to about 200, 300 knots, okay? Because our descent is coming up, right? Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and hold altitude right here. We don't need to climb anymore, man. Because although we didn't reach our 25,000 feet, our top of descent is already here. Our top of descent is already here. So I'll set our next target altitude. What? Why are we descending? Oh, we're not, okay. We're not descending, great. We'll set our next target altitude. We're supposed to be at 16,000 feet at the next waypoint. So I'll set that altitude already into the MCP. As you guys know, the 737-900 is a slippery aircraft that refuses to slow down. So if you come in too high and too fast, you are basically not... Oh, there is a warning. What is that warning about? I have no idea what that warning is about. But anyway, hopefully nothing too major. If there is something that major that happens, we can service ourselves on one of the stops that we are using today. Okay, brilliant. Okay, let's see what comes in the flight plan after exam mode. Let's have a look. After exam mode, LW201 and LP027. Now, yeah, both of those waypoints are available to us, and that's okay. That's great. So our first leg shouldn't be too much of an issue. First leg should be fairly straightforward. Let's find out how it ends up being, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So our top of descent is right here as we come into Lippstadt, Germany for a touch and go. It's going to be interesting to see how this aircraft performs on a touch and go. I don't even know what flap setting to use. I think I'll use because for a touch and go, once I touch down, I don't have much of a runway at Lippstadt at all. If you look at nav map really quickly, there's nav map. If we zoom into Lippstadt here and look at the amount of runway available to us, you'll see we have 7,000 feet, which might sound like a lot, but we're in a 737-900. So we need to perform that touch and go at a fairly fast speed and get out of there as quickly as possible. So I think maybe halfway we can use flaps, half, I guess. Why not, right? Can probably use half flaps. Yeah, we'll probably use half flaps. Nothing more. Okay. We'll use half flaps. Okay, as you can see, we're coming up on Zamod really quickly here. We'll use half flaps. Okay, let me remove nav map. And now you guys are seeing, I believe, the simulator now. Nav map is hidden for now. Let's just wait for it to reach Zamod, okay? Little nav map is hidden. Okay, let's begin our descent right away. Come on, VS, please. Yes, let's go down to, let's descend quite steeply here. Let's bring down our speed to immediately about 250. This aircraft will not slow down easily, so let's just set it at 250 for now. I don't want to come in too fast and too high, you know. It is very dangerous on this aircraft, ladies and gentlemen. So let's open up the speed brakes to slow down this aircraft. That's going to have very little effect on the 737-900. It's probably just going to prevent us from accelerating at this point. Okay. We are looking pretty decent here. I want to refer to my flight plan really quickly. We're supposed to be at 3,000 feet at LP027. We should be at 3,000 feet at LP027. Okay. That's something to remember. LP027 at 3,000 feet. Okay. The problem. Let's see what is going to happen now. Let us see. Let us see. Okay. I hope that. Oh my god, the PMDG, huh? It's just refusing. Why is it so stubborn when it comes to slowing down? Big old heavy airliner, elongated version. Let's go outside for a bit, shall we? And there is the messed up part about our flight plan coming up. So we gotta be careful here, see how the aircraft behaves. Depending on that, we might need to take manual control here. Ooh, plenty of aircrafts around us. See? Ooh. Crisscrossing the sky all around us, eh? Okay. Anyway, the beautiful KLM 737-900, the Flying Dutchman. Lovely. The view is off, right? Yes, it is. Lovely. The buzzard. Okay, let's go back into our cockpit. We're actually back into the cockpit, and there it is. We're supposed to be at 3,000 feet here, man. Let me actually go ahead and set 3,000 feet right away. Because, guess what? We might not make it. So we really need to be at 3,000 feet here so that we can make visual contact with the runway. We need to go down way steeper than that. Probably far steeper than anything would actually do. You know what? It's best we go this steeply down, and the aircraft can pick up around 220 knots of speed. We'll leave it at 220 knots of speed, yeah, hopefully. So we have to keep an eye on the speed here. Obviously, I don't want to be at this speed right now, but I'll set this into the auto throttle so I don't forget when we descend down, okay? We'll soon be below 10,000 feet here. Anas Shahid, I have slow Wi-Fi, so I might reply a bit late. Please don't mind. Definitely not. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that I'm not flying alone. That in itself is a big thing, Anas. Thank you for joining in. I certainly don't mind. I appreciate your presence on my stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. Let us see. What is our dear aircraft going to do now? It has decided. Okay. Let's see what the plan looks like. Okay, it doesn't look too bad here, to be honest with you. I don't have any visual whatsoever. Let me go to navmap and have a look at what's happening, because yeah, okay. Alright. We are descending. Luckily for us. Can you guys see the simulator right now? Yes, you can. I have to keep checking to make sure I don't leave the overlay of the nav map on and I forget all about it. Okay. Anyway, we are turning into LP0. After LP0 is MOQ6. Yeah, it's supposed to be MOQ6. EDLP is here. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make any sense to you guys? EDLP is not there. Yeah, I have no idea at this point. Okay, it is still descending down at a very high rate. Our speed has gone through the roof. We've crossed 10,000 feet. Let's turn on our landing lights here. We can also go from standard to the local barometric pressure. Well, that's supposed to be at 5,000 feet. Never mind. But we still did it anyway. Okay, actually, you know what? We'll do that at 5,000 feet. Let's not mess about. We're continuing on straight here. I think we can clear EDLP can be deleted, can we? How do you clear it again? Oh yeah, we just need to pick up Nonsa and put it on top of EDLP. That's all we gotta do. But anyway, that's not something we're gonna concern ourselves with right now. Right now, the concern is lining up with the runway, coming down to the correct altitude, 5,000 feet coming up, slowing down, which we cannot do at this point. We might have to go around once because of the freaking speed. Where's FO? Daria Kurnasova. Hello, Daria. Where is FO? You mean the first officer? Fortunately, we're not showing him in the simulator, but if you go outside, you can see his visual right here. Him being in the way, it often looks, the display is quite messed up. The graphics for the person is quite messed up. That's Boeing. Yes, it is, Daria. It is a Boeing 737-900. Coming in to land at Lippstadt, not land, perform a touch and go at Lippstadt in Germany. Hope you stick around. But yeah, it's a 737-900 Boeing. Okay, speed has immediately begun to drop now that we've reached our target altitude. Can turn to local barometric pressure. That's haram. That's haram. No FO. Well, I'm flying this by myself, so you know. You ain't meeting FAA regulations. No, I'm not, Daria. I am not meeting any FAA regulations right now. Okay, our aircraft is going to take a left turn, hopefully. Yes, it is. I am not meeting any FAA regulations. There's nothing regulatory about what we're about to do, Daria. We're about to perform a touch and go at an airport without using any of the procedures. But anyway, we did use proper procedures. You cannot proceed the landing without the FO. Well, Daria, here it is, man. I'm by myself, so you know what? By myself, I consider you guys to be the FOs. And I think I have visual on the airport dead ahead of us. Yes, there is the airport dead ahead of us. Okay. And let's actually take manual control of the aircraft at this point. We have manual control of the aircraft, and let us see what we can do here. Let's drop our flaps by 1. We'll also disarm the auto throttle as well. Come down completely. I have full complete control of the aircraft now. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Let's see. I don't even know where the runway is, to be honest with you. Let me just see. Let me see. Where is the runway? That is the airport. We see the airport. I have airport inside, but I do not have the runway. Speed brakes are on, right? Hope so. Okay, speed brakes should come on. Come on, man. Okay, I'm gonna drop my gear here as well. Help us slow down a little bit more. For the touch and go, as you can see, the winds are crazy. Where are you landing? I'm about to perform a touch and go at Lippstadt in Germany. And as you can see, we are a little too low. And apart from that, I think we're okay. I can see the runway is in sight. Boeings are uncomfortable. Do you mean to fly, to travel in? What do you mean, Daria? Okay, we've got our flaps. We'll reduce flaps to 1 more and 1 more. Airspeed fall. We'll throttle up quickly. That is one of the problems with this Boeing here. It doesn't recognize that we're about to land, by the way. That's why the too low terrain warning is going on. Obviously, passenger aircrafts are not meant to do touch and goes in the middle of their flight. You know, we're not supposed to perform any touch and go on us.
Airspeed fall. Airspeed fall.
Airspeed fall. Airspeed fall. Indeed, airspeed is falling, my friend.
Airspeed fall. Airspeed fall.
Okay, we need a bit more of flaps. Otherwise, we'll stall in this thing. Okay. Our flaps should sustain us. Okay, let's bring down the speed brake here. And hopefully, let's actually bring the flaps back up here. Oh, this is difficult. The winds are not in our favor. This is not a good idea, is it? No, it isn't. I'm probably gonna crash. Like Daria did tell us.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Okay, let's go back up. Touch and go is successful. Flaps back up. We have liftoff. Okay, we're back. We made that touch and go. I can't believe I made that, man. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. We made it. We literally just made that touch and go. Incredible. Incredible to say the least. Incredible to say the least. I am so happy with that. I know you. That is crazy, man. Okay, let's continue with smooth touch and go there at Lipstad, and let us continue. I'll check the comments in a while. I can see the comments being populated right now. Just need to focus on flying for a bit to get my speed up before this plane starts complaining. I can't yet give it to the autopilot, so I have to be a little bit careful here. Okay, everything is looking okay. Let me just turn on LNAV here. We arm the auto throttle. Oh my goodness, don't do that to me right now. What are you doing? You need to go faster. Is the auto throttle? Come on. Come on, Mr. Auto Throttle. You need to go to... Okay. On top of all of this, you know what? Let me just take manual control, get the aircraft to a safe altitude, and then we'll talk about the auto throttle and etc. etc. Let's not mess about, shall we? Let's climb up. Why touch and go? Daria, we're actually performing a couple of touch and goes today. 2 touch and goes and 2 full landings on today's flight. So this is a touch and go. This is not our final destination. That's why this is just us messing about. That's all it is. We're performing a touch and go on our way. Our final destination today is in Finland. That's why a touch and go in Germany. Now we are headed off onto Bornholm in Denmark. That's where we're going right now. The winds are crazy. I can't yet give control over to the autopilot, as you guys can see. So I'm still maintaining control here. We are flying on to some waypoint which I have long since passed, by the way. That's why I'm not giving control over to the autopilot yet. So, yeah. Okay. Let me just quickly have a look. EDLP is where we just performed touch and go. I'll check the comments, I promise, as soon as I have this aircraft stabilized. We're passing through 5,000 feet. I need to change to standard. Okay, we have standard parameters. Okay, the aircraft seems to be kind of stable right now, right? Let's go ahead and give it to the autopilot here. Set the altitude up. The LNAV is messing up. Okay, I'll take back control. The LNAV is messing up, so we've got something to do here. Let's do this. Let's go to heading select mode, and we will select whatever heading it is on right now. Right? How do you do that? Let's push the heading to that, and we will give it to the autopilot now. Let's engage, and we will push the speed way up. Okay, and we will put the altitude to about 10,000 feet first. VS at... there we go, VS is engaged. Give it a second, it should... we'll go at 2000 VS. Yeah, we'll go at 2000 VS. Speed is engaged at 310 knots. Heading mode engaged for now. Excellent. So let me just quickly set this up before I respond to the comments. We'll select Nonsa. We'll push him up here. Execute. That will make us fly directly to Nonsa, okay? Then we can go to LNAV mode. Ta-da! Yay! We're back on track, ladies and gentlemen. This is this is really messing up, right? There's so much wind, the aircraft can barely... Okay, let me look at the comments really quickly. Daria says, you will crash, where are you landing? Boeings are uncomfortable. Touch and go at a few runways before landing Vaasa. Yes, that's what we're doing today. That is what we're doing today. We're on standard. We're supposed to be on standard, right? I don't know. We'll check at 10,000 feet. Now he's good enough, I think. Now turn on snow. He's crashing. Why touch and go? Excellent timing. I wish you a safe flight. Landing lights are on. Gear is still up. Oh, there we go. That is why. The gear was still down. That is why we're struggling with our speed right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now the auto throttle should take us automatically. Out of the pressure of the touch and go, I forgot to push up the gears, but we're fine now. Daria, now turn on snow. You know what? We will do snow. We will do snow. Turn off the landing lights. Let's climb straight out to 35,000 feet, which is our cruising altitude for this leg. Can set standard barometer. 35,000 feet. If Daria is still with us, I can tell you positively that we're gonna have some snow, and I'll show you in a bit. Give me a second. Let me just put our climb rate to about 900 or 1,000. Yeah, what about 1,000? Let's do 1,000. That will immediately slow us down a little bit though. But anyway, let's go outside. We're looking okay. We've left Lipstadt long behind, right? It's right there. Left it behind. Okay, here is what we're gonna do. Let me open up nav map. There it is. Okay, so we've just performed our touch and go at Paderborn Lipstadt. On this leg of our journey, we'll use another weather. On this leg, we'll use another weather. On this final leg, we'll use stormy weather for landing. Make it a bit challenging. So, our first request is for snow. How long is this leg? This entire procedure, including touch and go, should take us about, at the rate we're going, about 30 minutes? Not 30 minutes, about 45 minutes, I would say. 45 minutes to an hour, honestly. You had a long day at the office, Monsieur Club de Noob. Yes, I have. I've had a very long day at the office indeed, and I'm still flying. So, as per Daria's request, we were actually going to set the weather here to snow, right? Our weather for this leg will be, ta-da, snow. Fluffy clouds. All the snow is underneath, of course. You know? Let's go back inside. So we will be using snow, and we will land into the snow in Denmark at Bornholm Airport. Okay? At Bornholm, we'll land into the snow. How cool is that? Now, I don't actually know if that's a realistic condition. Does it ever snow at Bornholm? I have no idea. Let's actually increase the speed a little bit more to 320 here. Landing lights are off. Everything, gear can come off. It should have come off a long time ago, but okay. We're flying to Nonsa as planned, and everything is looking good. Everything is looking great. Don't forget to turn on window heater. Window heaters are on, I believe. Yeah, window heaters are all on. Nazim, thank you. We don't have de-ice going on though. Where on earth are the de-ice systems? I actually don't know. I've never used de-ice. I've never flown into snow using this stuff. Oh, they're right here. Anti-ice is right here. We don't need it just yet. We'll need it probably as we descend into Bornholm. Let me show you nav map once more. Here it is. As we descend into Bornholm in Denmark, we'll probably need to turn on the wing and engine de-ice. Right now we're flying to Nonsa, by the way, this waypoint, because we don't have this waypoint available. So we're flying directly to Nonsa. We're supposed to be at 16,000 feet at Nonsa, I believe. And yeah. Yeah, so what we'll do is we have to keep an eye out, make sure when we reach here we begin descent. STO09 is our top of descent for today into Bornholm Airport. Okay, very, very nice, very, very exciting. We also have some challenging weather ahead of us. This is going to be fun. I've never flown into Bornholm to begin with, let alone during snow. Now let me actually go ahead and check whether does it actually snow at Bornholm. Let's have a look. Bornholm. Does it snow? Yeah, it actually does. I can see some snowy pictures of Bornholm, so it's not too unrealistic for us to expect snow in Bornholm, thankfully. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that looks lovely. Okay, let's have a look at our flight plan. How are we proceeding? We have 197 nautical miles to Nonsa, and at Nonsa we're supposed to be at 16,000 feet. Let's climb a little faster, shall we? Let's put our speed down to 310 and let us climb a little faster. Let's go at 1,500. I want to reach that 35,000 feet quickly as possible. Is Daria still with us? Is Anna still with us? Or have they left? See, I didn't crash, Daria. I actually managed to do a touch and go. Anyway, if anyone's watching, please chime in. Chime in. Okay, let's see. What else? That's about it. We're just waiting for us to reach our climb here. The landing lights are off. Just make sure of that. Yes, they are off. Now they're on. Now they're off. Okay, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Let's go outside and have a look at the views. Check out these fluffy clouds, shall we? Okay, at our next airport, we're going to come to a complete stop at Bornholm. We're actually going to come to a complete stop and then take off once again. So we'll go around and take off once again. And at Bornholm, we'll also check the fuel quantity, make sure that we have enough fuel to continue our flight on to Finland. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying the stream. Yep, we are so far 1 hour and 22 minutes into the stream. We've been flying for roughly an hour, so we have about 2 more hours of flying remaining. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying this. How beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at another view, shall we? The wings block the clouds. Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. Beautiful. Although it does block our view of the land, doesn't it? But the good part is we're going to be flying over the ocean. So we're not missing too much of scenery here. But we will land into the snow, as promised. Cycling through the views here. Oh man, that is a good shot, isn't it? That is a great shot. Okay. Let me just have a look at the nav map. Alright, if anyone has just joined us today, we are on a beautiful flight, jumping on a little tour across Europe in the 737-900, performing a couple of touch and goes along the line. We took off from Rotterdam in Netherlands. We performed a successful touch and go in Lipstad, Paderborn Lipstad Airport in Germany. Now we are headed on to Bornholm in Denmark, where we'll perform a complete landing. We'll come to a complete stop, check our fuel quantities, put some ground services going on, turn around, take off really quick. Roughly, I'm estimating roughly 10 minutes of stoppage time in Bornholm at most. Hopefully that's even shorter, like 5 minutes. Then we'll fly on towards Stockholm in Sweden, Arlanda Airport in Stockholm, where we'll perform another touch and go. And then we will perform our final landing for the day, and we'll move on to, from Stockholm, we'll move on to our final destination for the day, which is Vaasa. in Finland. So we'll land into Vaasa Airport on Finland using the ILS. That will be the only instrument landing system that we'll use today. That's the only instrument approach, only IFR. I mean, obviously we're flying IFR right now, but the only instrument approach we're going to be using for the day is our final approach into Vaasa in Finland. So this whole stream is supposed to take about roughly 3 to 4 hours, I would say. We're already 1 hour and 22 minutes into our stream, and we are less than halfway through. So this stream is looking to be really long. If it turns out to be way too long, we'll continue the second half of this flight on tomorrow's live stream. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happening today. Okay. Right now we are on our way to a waypoint called Nonsa, which is very near the top of descent into Bornholm. Okay, we don't have much of a distance remaining, to be honest with you. Very little. And yeah. Okay, let me just quickly show you the little nav map for that. Here it is. Our aircraft is right here. That's where we performed our last touch and go. We're on our way to Bornholm here. Our top of descent is ST09. As you can see, we're already halfway through to our top of descent, and we're still climbing to our cruising altitude. We won't even make 35,000 feet. We'll start our descent immediately. So yeah, as you can see, we're halfway through to our top of descent at ST09. All right, let's go back into the simulator. Let me remove the overlay. Little nav closed. Back in the simulator, ladies and gentlemen. If anyone joined us, please feel free to leave a like, feel free to subscribe, feel free to chime in. I love interacting. It's a bit loud outside, right? I should probably go into the cockpit before I start talking. Yeah, I should probably do that. Little nav map is off, making sure that it's hidden so you guys can see the simulator. Let me go into the cockpit. Okay, that's much better, isn't it? Much, much better. Okay. Let's see. Let me go to nav map and do some calculations here so that measure distance 56. Okay. Okay, so we need to begin our descent at 56 nautical miles from Nonsa. When we are 56 nautical miles away from Nonsa, let me see how I can do that. There. When we are 56 nautical miles away from Nonsa, we need to begin our descent. Because at Nonsa, we are supposed to be at... Where is it? At Nonsa, we're supposed to be at 16,000 feet. So 56 nautical miles before Nonsa, before we reach Nonsa, when this distance becomes 56 nautical miles, we'll begin descending to 16,000 feet so we can reach Nonsa at 16,000 feet. From Nonsa, the waypoint we have, let's see, let's go to our computer here. From Nonsa, it goes directly to FF11. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, at FF11, we should be at 1,500 feet to make a successful touch and go into to make a successful landing into Bornholm Airport without it being too risky and to make a smooth landing. We have to be at 1,500 feet at FF11 here, 16,000 feet at Nonsa. Okay, as you can see, we're going to come up on our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, luckily well before Nonsa. And our cruising altitude, our parameter is set, our gear is off, our flaps are all good, speed brakes are all good, lights are looking good. Our passengers can now remove their seatbelts. No smoking should always remain on. We don't allow smoking on this flight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, is anyone else with me? Oh, again, I'm flying by myself on YouTube. Hopefully not for too long. Hopefully I'm not flying alone for too long. Hopefully someone is watching it. Who knows? But anyway, as you can see, we are very, very near our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, and we can travel a little bit faster if we like. Why don't we? Let's turn our speed up to 0.78 Mach. Okay, so we reach our destination a little quicker. Don't you want to reach the destination a little quicker? Of course we do, don't we? Okay, I can flatten out our climb a little bit to 1,200 feet. Allow our speed to increase. Lovely, isn't it? The PMDG 737. Look at that. Look at the textures on that. That's quite nice. I love this fluffy seat. It's really nice. Anyway, let's have a look around. Oh, are these? Oh, these circuit breakers are not functional. Interesting. Are any circuit breakers functional? No, none of the circuit breakers are. What is this? Oh, the jump seat. Ta-da! Jump seat, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Jump seat. I think I always forget this. Somewhere here is the cockpit door thing, isn't it? I never lock it. Kind of an odd thing. Where is the cockpit light? Cockpit door. I don't know where it is. Okay, never mind. I fly the 737. To be honest, I've become much more familiar with it. So, you know, still a little bit of... I do wish it had a tablet we could mess about while we're flying. But other than that, this is a great aircraft. This is one of my favorite aircrafts. Actually, it is my favorite aircraft to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, it definitely is. My favorite airliner to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Really fun, ladies and gentlemen, really fun. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Insufficient fuel for our flight plan, we already know that. Actually, I'm going to leave this message here so it reminds me to have a look at the fuel situation once we land into Bornholm. Alright, and we continue here. Pushing on to Bornholm, ladies and gentlemen. All right. All right. I have no idea who's still with me. Actually, it's showing right now that there are no viewers. Oh, that's sad. Well, anyway, we're about to reach our 35,000 feet altitude mark here, ladies and gentlemen. And seatbelt signs are off, allowing our passengers to move about as they wish. We still have about 50, yeah, we exactly have 50 nautical miles to our top of descent because at 56 nautical miles to Nonsa, we need to begin our descent as discussed. Okay, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a calm day. You know, the A320, the fly-by-wire A320, and I think the Phoenix too, I'm not too sure, has a cup holder over here, and it has the coffee. There is the altitude horn, warning us that we are within 1,000 feet of our selected altitude, and yet that we are. Okay, it has a cup holder here, the A320, fly-by-wire A320 has a cup holder here, which changes design based on what livery you're flying. It's really nice. I like to pretend like I'm drinking coffee by picking it up and putting it back down. I wish there were such little, you know, silly but entertaining details on our on the PMDG 737. And I'm just noticing that there's a bunch of visors here. Does the visor come down here? Is there a visor up here? No, but there is a visor here. Oh, okay, so if I take the visor, and I drag it. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. Ta-da! I've always wondered why the 737-900 did not have visors, and I did not know you could do this. How cool. Should be visors for the co-pilot as well, right? But anyway, look at that. Where's the sun coming from? Let me pretend like there's too much sun. I'll keep the visor right here. This is cool though. The visor is really cool. Ooh, look, there's another aircraft passing by us. If we switch on the traffic, we'll be able to see it right there, I think. Yep. Will TCAS alert us? TCAS is on, right? Yes, it is. It should alert us. It is passing by quite close. It's 2,000 feet above us. Let's have a look outside. What aircraft is it? I can't tell. I can't tell. All I can tell is that it's an airliner. No, TCAS didn't warn us. I think the separation was sufficient. So we've reached 35,000 feet, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's time for the captain to relax a little bit here. We still have 30 nautical miles to our top of descent. So as the captain, I shall now take a breather. I'll now relax a little bit. Let me go outside and leave you guys with some beautiful views. I'll stop talking for a bit. Very quiet here in the cabin. Should I turn on some cabin ambience using FS Realistic? Let's see. Okay. Turned on some cabin ambience, but I don't hear anything. We'll assume that the passengers are sleeping, I guess. We have very little distance to go towards our top of descent here. Roughly just 20 nautical miles now. Something to remember. Okay. So let me just go back in the cockpit now. That was a very short break for the captain, wasn't it? Let me just go back in the cockpit right away. Yep, as you can see, we have just less than 20 nautical miles to our top of descent. So I won't go out of the cockpit right now. We'll just keep it somewhere about here. Anas, if you're with me, give me a message. If anyone else is with me, give me a message, please. Nazim, Daria, anyone? Please do chime in. Otherwise, we are nearing top of descent, about 13 nautical miles from top of descent. Okay? All right. See, like I said, today's flight, although it's quite long, interesting route. Why specifically to Vaasa? Asking this as a person who has lived 250 kilometers within Vaasa. Now, you're asking me about why I'm flying especially to Vaasa. Well, to be honest with you, Sec V, it's just, I thought it would be an interesting route to fly from the Netherlands, and it's not a direct route. We are stopping at multiple places along the way, and in addition to that, there is good scenery at Vaasa as well, so I thought I'd check that out, and I haven't flown to Finland before. So we took off from Netherlands, we flew to Germany, then now we're flying to Denmark, then we'll fly to Sweden, then finally into Vaasa, Finland. So it'll be an interesting route. I also want to try the approach into Vaasa Airport as well. We'll be flying into Vaasa under stormy weather, by the way, so more exciting. So there's no specific reason per se why I'm going to Vaasa. Thought it'd be cool to check it out, man. But cool to know that you've lived really close to Vaasa. Anyway, we have now reached our top of descent, just 3 nautical miles to our top of descent. So let's set our target altitude into the MCP of 16,000 feet, which we're supposed to be at our waypoint of Nonsa. Very cool. Hope you have fun. Thank you very much, Sekvi. If you like this video, please leave a like or consider subscribing. Check out my channel, you know, the sort. I'm glad you tuned in though. And thank you very much for chiming in on my live chat. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a subscribe, and I hope I see you again on one of my live streams. And thank you very much once again. Okay, we can now begin our descent clearly. Let's go down. VS. Let's go down very briskly here at 3,000. And let us bring our speed down immediately. And let's also bring our speed brakes on to help it slow down. Otherwise, it just isn't going to. Just isn't going to. This aircraft, as you guys know, doesn't like slowing down. Let's just go back to come on. Yeah, let's just go back to our speed here. Okay, we've now begun our descent, ladies and gentlemen, into Bornholm, Denmark. We're about to perform our first full landing of the day. We're about to come to a full stop at Bornholm, and we're about to turn around and then continue our journey on to Sweden, Stockholm from Bornholm. So we've begun our descent into Bornholm, as you guys can see. We're descending quite rapidly here because we need to make this 16,000 feet, and we have 40 nautical miles to do so, but we are traveling quite quickly. Especially given our altitude, our actual speed, as you can see right here, is 421 knots ground speed, so we're traveling quite quickly. So we need to descend down, and the banana has appeared, the green arc that will tell us where we will make the, sorry, did I just call that a banana? Okay, never mind that. The green arc that tells us when we're going to reach 16,000 feet has just appeared. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna make that 16,000 well before we reach on, so that's good to know, right? Excellent, good news. Let's go outside, have a look at the view as we descend here. Once again, this livery is nice, isn't it? I also like the fact that the underside is grey. Just goes well, I believe. It reminds me of my flight gear days. I don't know how many of you have flown flight gear. I used to fly flight gear all the time. I used to fly flight gear on a MacBook with the touchpad. Alright? With a touchpad. Anna says, yes, you did banana. Yeah, I did call it a banana. Anyway. Yeah, I used to fly flight gear on a MacBook without even using a mouse. I used to use the touchpad as the control, flight control. So, man, I was a hardcore flight enthusiast even back then, man. Even back then. You know? And I remember when I used to fly flight gear like that, I used to fly KLM a lot. Although it was a 777, I used to fly the, obviously in flight gear, the best model that I could find was the 777-300 ER and the 200 LR. So I used to fly the KLM a lot, and this brings back memories. I haven't flown a KLM livery in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't think ever. I think this is my first time flying a KLM livery, I think. Maybe the second time testing it out, I'm not sure. But definitely first time taking it for a proper spin. And it brings back memories from flight gear. Wow, man, wow. Anyway, here we are back. Although flight gear, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator is very advanced compared to flight gear. Flight gear was decent too. I cannot deny it. I mean, it wasn't graphically, it was so bad, but otherwise it was pretty decent, and it was stable. Okay, I could do 13, 14 hour flights in a straight line on a MacBook. in flight gear without any issues. So it was a stable one. I mean, brings back memories. Anyway, let's focus back on today's flight, shall we? Come back down from trip down memory lane. Come a long way since then, but still a long way to go. Here I am streaming by myself on YouTube, trying to grow my channel here. So yeah, man. Hopefully you guys find my content entertaining. Anyway, let's get back to today's flight. Enough chit chat. On today's flight, as you can see, a non-size coming up here. We'll make 16,000 by here. We're looking good. We don't need to worry. Nothing to worry about. Just we have to wait till we reach 16,000, then we'll set the altitude of 1,500, which is what we should be at FF11 for us to be able to make this landing. Now, the visibility is going to be poor as soon as we break through this layer of clouds. I can already see it. I cannot see a thing except white. Okay, I don't think this was a good idea. Especially we're not using ILS today. We're flying into Bornholm. We're going to land, but we're not using ILS. It's a visual approach because it's just a waypoint on our greater journey towards Finland. So there's no ILS that we're going to use at Bornholm. Although, should I tune the ILS? I should. You know what? Let me use Navmap quickly. Figure out what on earth is the ILS for Bornholm runway 11. Okay. What is the ILS for runway 11? Let's see. Let's see. Show information. ILS runway 11 frequency is 109.35, ladies and gentlemen. 109.35 is the frequency for the ILS. Let's actually use the ILS. Yeah, let's actually use the ILS, okay? Let's actually use the ILS. Alright. I'll actually tune that in right now into the... Okay, we're reaching our altitude. What are we supposed to tune in again? 119... Okay, sorry, 109.35. Let me tune that in. Oh, okay. Oh, I can't see it. Give me a second. 35109, please. Come on quickly. Oh no. 109. It's not even here. Why would... Oh, it's supposed to be here. What am I doing? 109.35. Let me try and set it to 35. Okay, I've set that as the active. Let's see, we are coming towards Nonsa. We can remove our speed brakes here. 109.35 has been set. I hope so. I hope I set it in the right place. I don't know. We can turn our altitude knob to display 1,500 now. Oh, went to 0. 1,500, ladies and gentlemen. We go back and see if I've set this correctly. What is this for? Oh, this is the nav one. Sorry. This is I was trying to tune in the wrong thing. I'm so... you know, sometimes you get messed up. Anyway, we're not using any ATC or communication, so we don't have to worry about this for today. And we just adjusted the... we should have adjusted... Okay, never mind any of this. Okay, we've got active on this one. Let's actually tune that in here as well. Just to be safe, let's put it on 109. And we will put that... It's 109.35. Yeah, it is. Okay. We're back here. Nonsa is coming up, so let's go ahead and begin our descent, ladies and gentlemen, at 1,500 feet. And we can also bring our speed down here to 220, although we'll not go anywhere near 220 when we descend, right? The green arc is yet to show up here as we continue our descent. We're about to break through these clouds and we'll lose all visibility. I know this. I know that's what's going to happen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness indeed. That's why I've tuned in the frequencies for the ILS. Hopefully that works. I don't usually do it, to be honest. I don't usually do this. And Bornholm runway 11 has ILS and its frequency is 109.35 confirmed, and its course is 108 degrees. Okay, it's at 108 degrees, so let me just tune that in as well. 108 degrees should be the course. Okay, we'll set it at 108. We'll also set the heading bug to 108 as well, to match the runway. This I'm just making sure that we have the option of using instrument ILS into the runway at Bornholm, because we're using snow as the weather. So just in case the visibility is way too poor to even attempt a visual landing, we can use the ILS and use an instrument approach into the runway 11. That's why I'm just preparing the MCP here. 108 course, 108 heading, 108 course set, ILS tuned, I believe. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing our descent to FF11. We have 45 nautical miles left. Supposed to be at 1,500 feet. Question is, will we make it? Let's have a look at my flight plan again. FF11, yeah, we're supposed to be. You know what? I'll go to 2,000 feet. I feel like 3,000 is just. 1,500 is just way too low. So okay, we should change our barometric pressure. Let's press B. Oh, it's standard barometric pressure here. But okay. What is our transition altitude set at? I have no clue. Let me have a look. What is our transition altitude set at? Initial reference menu. X. Let's just go back here, shall we? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we continue our descent here, and we still haven't broken through the clouds. These clouds are pretty low. They are pretty low here, and we continue our descent. You know what? I want to slow this aircraft down a little bit, so I'm going to use the speed brakes as well. After FF11 is the waypoint of Pides. Pides is basically at the foot of the runway. Okay, it is basically at the foot of the runway. It will take us directly to the end of the runway. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, apart from that, is there anything else? We're just about crossing 10,000 feet. We should also put the seatbelt signs back on, eh? The chime has been heard. 10,000 feet crossing. We'll turn on the landing lights here. For that, let me just check out what the hell is this. Okay, now. 10,000 feet crossing. Let's turn on our landing lights here. FF11 coming up. Perfect. We still haven't gone through the layer of clouds. My goodness, these clouds are quite high. Let's put away our visors. So we have perfect visibility. I need to slow down. I need to slow down seriously. Yes, I do. Okay. Is the localizer. We'll use the localizer once we use FF11. We'll use the localizer. I believe at FF11 we can use the localizer. Oh yeah, we're flying directly to FF11. We don't have much of a. You know what? Let me fly a little out of F1. Let me fly to somewhere here using the heading mode first. Should I do that so that I have more room as we come into land? Yeah, you know what? I should do that. I should fly out towards here. Okay, I'll fly out towards somewhere here. The reason I'm flying out in this direction to FF11 is this is parallel to the runway, okay, that we're trying to land at. So if I come out to this heading, that's a little too much. Let's just go like somewhere there. If I come out to that heading, then I'll be able to catch the localizer hopefully, and that will bring us into the runway. At the same time, giving us a longer final to prepare for the landing. Right? It's a smart enough of an idea, don't you think? Speed brakes are still on. Just have to remind ourselves that it's still on. You can hear the noise in the background. What else? What else? What else? Yep, we are about to reach our altitude of 2,000 feet, right about there. Okay, have a look. Oh my goodness. Okay, okay. Yeah, 2,000 feet is a little low for it, but you know, still gonna go for it. You know what? I'm gonna go to 2,500 because 2,000 might be too low. I'm just gonna make it 2,500. Let's see, let me have a look at our leg safe altitude for this particular flight. Okay, we don't have too much of a problem. Leg safe altitude is about 1,500. We don't have too much of a problem. And we are descending into the snow. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to sink into the layer of clouds and snow as we come into land at Bornholm. Oh my god, this is so risky. I've never tried this, by the way. This is my first time ever trying it, and I'm doing it on live stream. How crazy is that? Never landed into Bornholm, never landed a 737 in the storm. And there we go. We're about to descend into the darkness as the sun gets covered up by the layer of clouds. Being quite dramatic, haven't I? But why not? This weather is so dramatic. It deserves some drama. Here we are. Oh, a little pocket of clearness, and we still have no idea where on earth. And to make matters worse, we're flying over the water, so we have no visual references. Visual references. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. There's some sort of localizer that is saying it's beginning to catch. We can drop our flaps to position number 1 right away, just to prepare for this landing as we come down to 2,500. Okay, this is quite scary. I'm actually quite nervous for this landing. I don't even know what runway length we have available at Bornholm. What do we have available at Bornholm? Our runway length is only 6,500. Oh my goodness. Our runway length is only 6,583 meters at Bornholm. That is nothing for a 737-900. I don't think that's enough. Okay, we'll be able to land and take off. Yeah, we will be. Okay, we'll be fine. We will be fine. We took off from a shorter runway. Just a slightly shorter runway, but still at least, you know, shorter runway. So we'll be fine. Hopefully. But anyway. Let me turn the aircraft in slightly towards the runway here. Just a little bit, like that. Oh, we've reached 2,500, ladies and gentlemen. How exciting. And as you can see, we see nothing. We see nothing. Okay. Interesting, isn't it? Let's see, can we get the localizer is right about there. Can we catch this bad guy?
2,500.
2,500 above the level, sea level, I guess. I don't even know, man. My goodness. This is crazy. Go outside. Look at this. There is no visibility whatsoever. You can see the reflection of the sun barely in the water. Okay, let's go back inside. Let's turn off speed brake. We don't need that anymore. Okay, let us see, ladies and gentlemen, as we come out here to our... Okay, we're continuing here. We're looking good though, we're looking good. Just so you guys have an idea of what I'm trying to do, let me open up nav map for you guys. Look at that. So this waypoint was supposed to be in our flight plan, but it wasn't in the database, so I got to program it into the FMC. So we are going for this one, but I want to come in somewhere here so we have a longer final and more time to prepare, and we can catch the localizer from somewhere here, I hope. Otherwise, we'll just fly in manually into this bearing, which is 83. Okay, so we can do that. It's not a problem. Okay, we turn off nav map here. Go back to flight sim. Make sure that flight sim is on top. Nav map is hidden and flight sim is on top, and you guys can see it. Excellent. Landing lights are on. Everything is on. Ah, there it is. You see, we can see the localizer being caught and everything. So this is all good. This is all good. We're performing well right now. Let's drop our speed to 200 knots. Completely. Actually, you know what? I want to go to 180. This thing doesn't slow down. So I'm going to go to 180 here. Luckily, this is a complete stop. I don't have to perform a touch and go in this weather. That would be hell. Yeah, we have a fuel issue, don't we? Yes, we do. We also have a fuel imbalance. No, we don't have a fuel imbalance. We just have a fuel issue. Okay. So we can see that I programmed the right frequency. Luckily. Speed drops. Let's drop our flaps further. Drop our flaps further to position number 5 at least. We can drop our flaps further. We can bring our speed down to 175. This plane will start completing. The margins on the 737-900 are very, very, very thin. It's unlike all the other 737s. Let's now... Should we turn on the localizer yet? Let's go localizer. Let's see. I've turned on VOR localizer. Let's see if it will catch the localizer by itself. If it won't, I'll give it a bit of a heading input. I'll turn it manually this way a little bit to help it catch the localizer. Yeah. Yeah, I'll manually tune it in so that it can catch the localizer. Let's see if it actually catches it. We'll put the runway heading of 108. Okay, you know what? I'm going to turn on approach mode entirely. Hopefully that helps us, and I'm going to turn down our speed to 160 knots. And I'm going to drop our flaps even further. And I'll drop... Oh, landing gear needs to be down, by the way. Okay, hopefully that will get rid of this warning once we drop the landing gear. Come on, go down gear. Come on. What? Yep, the horn is gone once the landing gear is dropped. How come we can't? Obviously, we're a bit too high, as you can see. I mean, we're a bit too low. We're under the glide slope. But the localizer here is messing with my head. Aren't we supposed to catch the localizer by now? Oh my goodness, I have no idea. That's the worst part. I have no idea. Okay, let's actually fly straight towards FF101. Which localizer did I tune in? Yeah, it's runway 11. I did tune in the right localizer. Let me have a look one more time, make sure it's the right one. ILS runway 11 at Bornholm is 109.35, which is what I tuned in. Okay, I have no idea why it's doing what it's doing right now. Okay, glide slope has been caught for some reason, but localizer is telling me I'm nowhere near it. I want to go VOR localizer. Can you please localize this thing for me? What is it saying? Let me also turn on the second autopilot. Oh, that didn't work. What is going on here? What is going on here? Let me go approach mode. And then I'll turn on the second autopilot. Okay, that worked. Why isn't the localizer coming into the center? That is my question. Okay, let me slow down here. Drop our flaps further. 140 knots here. As you guys can see, I can't see a thing. Alright, Pyris is where the end of the runway is. That's all I know. I cannot see a thing. The glide slope has been caught, luckily. The localizer is showing some erroneous stuff. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. Let's drop the flaps one more time, and we're at landing flap already. We'll set the speed at 140 for landing. And oh my goodness, what am I doing? Why aren't we descending? We're not descending, are we? We're not descending. No, we're not. Okay, I'm gonna take manual control. Okay, I'm gonna take manual control and descend this aircraft myself.
Airspeed full. Airspeed full.
Hopefully I'm doing okay. Let's go to approach mode. Should we go to approach mode? Okay, this is the approach mode apparently. It's telling me that the localizer is on the right. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, we're coming into the runway, apparently. According to MSFS, we are doing well. Okay, I need to flatten out that descent. Auto throttle's worrying about airspeed for us. Hopefully, oh my goodness, landing in this weather is not a good idea, just saying. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen, not a good idea. Okay, I'm trying to maintain altitude. It is not letting me. Let me trim up a little bit. I've gone off course again. Oh my goodness, no visibility, unstable approach, not much of it. Okay. I have some visuals, but I have no idea where the airport is. Some sort of visuals here. The localizer is telling me I'm way off to the left. Trying to bring the aircraft down to the right. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a crash for sure. You know what? This is absurd. If I don't see the runway soon enough, I'm actually going to go into a... I'm actually going to go in and perform a missed approach. Yeah, I don't think I can land in this weather. I don't think anyone should land in this weather. Okay, we have visual of the land, but we don't have visual of the runway or the glide slope.
Glide slope.
Okay, we are going to... We're struggling here.
Glide slope.
This is not a good idea.
Glide slope.
This is not a
Glide
good idea.
slope.
Okay. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. I can't catch the localizer. The localizer is 300 feet. Oh my goodness. Where is this? Oh, there it is. We see it. We see it, ladies and gentlemen. By pure luck, we're gonna make it.
Sink rate.
Don't worry about the sink rate, buddy.
Sink rate.
Don't worry about that. I got it. I got it. Okay, 30.
10.
10. Okay. What are the chances, ladies and gentlemen? What are the chances? What are the chances? My goodness. We actually made it. Wow. I'm so happy with myself right now. I'm so pleased with me right now that I actually made that crazy, crazy, crazy landing. Come on, man. Look, if you're watching this, I deserve your subscription right now, right? I'm just telling you right now. If you're watching this live stream, whether you're watching this live or after the fact, I deserve your sub. Come on, man. I just performed the impossible. Come on. Help a brother out. Subscribe. If that doesn't get me a subscription, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Because that was amazing. Okay, that was incredible. Okay, let me not toot my own horn, but I'm very happy with myself. Okay, unfortunately, I have no idea how this airport is. I'm just going to take a right here at this taxiway. Hopefully, we're not traveling too fast for it. We are. As you can clearly see, this taxiway is not meant for a airliner of this size. And look at the weather we just landed in, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. If you're watching this, come on, man. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. Say something down in the chat. You know, if you're watching this after the fact, come on. Give me a comment. I deserve it, don't I? Let me put my flaps back up. Bring the the speed brakes back down. Landing lights can come off. Taxi lights can go on. Let's taxi in to Bornholm in the middle of the snow. Incredible. I'm very happy with myself. Let me go outside really quickly. Let me actually have a look at... Oh, okay, I see. We need to continue taxiing all the way. The actual gates are on the other side. We'll reach the gates. Okay. Once we reach the gates, what we'll do is we'll check our fuel quantity, etc., etc., etc. Oh man, I'm so happy I made that landing. And that too on live stream. I'm so happy right now. Man, I'm so happy. Anas, if you're watching this, anybody, Nazim, Daria, whoever is on my stream, anybody watching this, let me know what you thought about that. Okay? Let me know what you thought about that. We'll now go in, we'll taxi into, oh, it has some nice runway markings. The airport marks, my bad. We'll actually now taxi into Bornholm Airport. We'll park somewhere at the parking or a gate. Then we'll have a look at the fuel situation. We'll let the passengers stretch their foot for a bit. We ourselves will stretch our feet for about a couple of minutes at max. I promise you, we're going to take off again real soon. And if you're just joining my stream and you didn't see what I just did right now, landing into Bornholm, rewind and check it out. It's worth it, trust me. And then come back and join on live because it was so good. I'm so happy with myself. Let me not get overly excited. We are going around in the snow, so I'm not going to go too fast here. Luckily, we are taxiing a Boeing and not an Airbus, so there's no servo delays between control inputs and the nose wheel. Ooh, will I crash if I hit the trees? I don't want that to. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. We hit the trees. We hit the trees. No problem, ladies and gentlemen. No problem. That is not a problem at all. As long as we made the landing, and that's all that matters. So right now, what I'm gonna do here is quite simple. Okay, I'm just gonna go and reload the aircraft. It's that simple. I had a feeling because the trees were too close to the taxiway. When you make that turn, because the wing hits the tree, and I have, by the way, I fly with everything on super realistic. Everything is set to ultra realistic. So the second my wing touched the trees, it was bound to crash. I should have known better. But anyway, that's not a problem at all today because I'm just going to load up right from. I'll load our 737 from right here, this parking or this parking, maybe. Then we'll taxi out and come back into Pidis. It's that simple, okay? Now, we already did a cold and dark start for the day, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we are just going to have the aircraft loaded up for us, ready to taxi. And then we will push back, taxi out, come back to our runway 11 and take off and continue with our journey. So, yeah, that was bound to happen. I should have known. The second I saw those trees so close to the aircraft, once again, I fly with everything on realistic. So that's why that happened. But I'm so glad I did that landing, ladies and gentlemen. It won't be too long, I promise. It will not be too long. The Microsoft Flight Simulator is loading up right now, and we will be at back where we left off in Bornholm in no time. Sorry about this little delay, but we'll be back right here in no time. But that was a wonderful landing, wasn't it? That was a wonderful. Look at the path we took into this landing. Just look at it. While the simulator is only, just look at it. We come this way, mind you, zero visibility the entire way, apart from what, 100 foot off the runway. We had the ILS running, but that barely made a difference, did we? I was struggling to line up, as you can see. We came in like this, we went over like this, like this. At the last second, we come in, we line up, and we see the runway, and then we make the landing. How beautiful is that? Okay, how wonderful is that? Okay, so as I mentioned, we'll load the aircraft from this parking. Since we already started up on cold and dark once, we'll just load it up straight ready for taxiing out onto runway, and we'll take off and continue on our itinerary for the day, the Europe itinerary for the day. Okay, let me just. Oh, I also use FS Realistic, by the way, so everything is realistic as much as possible. So this is our itinerary. We took off at Rotterdam. We performed a touch and go at Lipstad. We made a full stop landing at Bornholm Airport. Now we are on the second leg of this journey into Arlada and into Vaasa Airport. Now I'm wondering, should I take that as a sign to end off today's journey? You know what? I will. It's been a long day, and I believe at least we landed successfully into Bornholm. You know what I'll do? Let me just load the aircraft first. Where is Bornholm? Where is Bornholm? Bornholm is, come on. Bornholm is here. Okay. What? That's Stockholm. Okay. Let me just Let me just load the aircraft, and what we'll do is we'll leave it off for this stream. I think we've done enough in this stream. We landed into Bornholm, which is the first half of our journey, yeah? Which is supposed to be the first half of our European tour leg one journey from here to here to here. What I'll do is tomorrow I'll pick up this live stream exactly where we left off. We'll start off from Bornholm in the exact same parking 7, and then we will take off, perform a touch and go at Arlada, and then land finally into Vaasa airport. That will be tomorrow's stream, okay? So that will be fun, ladies and gentlemen. So for the day, we will leave it here. Let me just show you guys the conditions at which we left. So just so you guys have an idea, right here. We'll leave it here. There it is. As you guys can see, we'll leave it here for this live stream. Right here, we're at Bornholm, the airport we just landed into. Okay, then from here, we will take off tomorrow. Under this exact weather, same conditions, we'll take off tomorrow. We'll head on to Stockholm, where we'll perform a touch and go. And we will continue on to Finland, Vaasa. Okay, so that will be the leg for tomorrow. Today it's getting pretty late, and I think I should wrap it up here. So with that, thank you so much for watching. And if you missed my landing into Bornholm Airport, the one we are parked at right now, please go check out that landing. I loved it. Let me know what you thought about it. Some crazy stuff here at Club de Noob. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Probably I'll release a video as well. I'll see you in the video, as well as the live stream, where we'll pick up exactly where we have left off here. Look at the time. Let's have a look at the time. We'll pick up at 3 p.m. Okay, we'll start at 3 p.m. and under the snow, this exact same conditions, we will pick up tomorrow at this exact very same spot, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership so much, and thank you for everyone who tuned in. And I'll catch you in the next one, ladies and gentlemen, for the next leg of our Europe tour. Good day, and see you.